Alright, I just got up my ass off from work, so hopefully you guys can enjoy this raw take on the triple header for the Memorial Day weekend. The ever so glorious day for all of us dedicated motorsports fans. Pretty much Christmas for us every Memorial Day. F1 at Monaco, arguably one of my favorite international tracks of all time, meaning not in the United States or in North America for that matter. And, of course, the ever so prestigious Indianapolis 500. And, of course, the longest race of the year for NASCAR, Coca 600. Nothing really much happened in Monaco, and I unfortunately didn't get to watch it due to my ill-timing work shift that day, yesterday that was. And for Indianapolis 500, unfortunately I didn't see much of the race, but it was pretty damn awesome to watch. There was plenty of lead changes here and there, tons of comers and goers, a lot of people having balls of titanium to race each other like men. Rossi and Paginot were really diving down to the lower lane on exit. Exit off at least turn 2 and turn 4 as a way of desperately trying to break the draft for them. And I was kind of sort of hoping that Alexander Rossi would win, but I'm cool with Simon Paginot. After all, he is the teammate of my man Will Power, and that was a great day for Will Power too. And as soon as I saw the notification from IndyCar saying that there was 50 laps left and it was getting really intense, I knew I really needed to hurry my ass back home to catch the last bit of those last few laps of the Indianapolis 500 because I really didn't want to miss it. And boy, I was spoiled with such a fucking treat. Alexander Rossi and Simon Paginot were racing each other very hard without even dumping each other like idiots. Now that is real racing right there. That definitely makes up for the dumbass move Alexander Rossi pulled at I think it was St. Petersburg last year when he completely dive-bombed, who was it, James Hinchcliffe or something that he dive-bombed into. I don't completely remember who it was that he completely dive-bombed into, but all is forgiven with Alexander Rossi for that particular incident from 2018 St. Petersburg now. Because that was another amazing Indianapolis 500 in the books. It never fails to disappoint me, to be honest. It was pretty damn awesome. A big fat 10 out of 10. I was about to say 5 out of 10 by mistake, but I'm just too used to giving those bad ratings to those very subpar NASCAR races of this year and last year. No, actually, it was Robert Wickens that Alexander Rossi dived into. Sorry, I had a very faulty memory right there. I sincerely apologize. And that's probably because Robert Wickens, unfortunately, due to his accident at Pocono of last year, has been off the IndyCar radar. Outside of his Twitter posts, of course. So yeah, huge congrats to Simon Paginot on that major Indianapolis 500 victory of his. Definitely well deserving. Now on to Coca 600. To my huge surprise, even with a shit package like this, as much as I still vehemently loathe this package with all my fiery burning heart, and with all the fucking gasoline veins made of gasoline burning with my hatred towards this god fucking awful package, this race was actually pretty damn awesome. Stage 3 was very tedious and monotonous as hell as it went back to the same old ring around the rosy 3-second leads every single fucking lap between Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. No disrespect to Martin Truex Jr., by the way. But after stage 3, people were really starting to pick up. A lot of the teams were making adjustments to their cars to try to adapt after the sun set on the track, thus making the track cooler and making the stock cars really not very adapt well to the conditions of the track, making their correlation with how the stock cars or aero package and downforce was built. So good. So after the race in stage 3 became so mediocre after the sun set, not just biologically or scientifically speaking, but metaphorically on this race, it seems like a lot of these pit crew members were making a lot of strategies, which really shook up the race a lot. There were 2 Penske drivers right on Martin Truex Jr.'s tail during the first few laps of stage 4, too. And a lot of 4-wide racing, and a lot of people were really wheeling their cars. Like Chase Elliott, I can't even count how many times Chase Elliott saved his car, like roughly 3 times. That is talent right there. You guys can't even deny Chase Elliott's talent at this point. He really wheeled his car that night, and Jimmy Johnson even saved his car from offing itself from the ever so talentless Ricky Stenhouse Jr. But I will give Ricky Stenhouse Jr. this. It was pretty fucking staggering how he managed a top 5 finish after spinning out into the infield. The infield at the tri-oval to Charlotte Motor Speedway, of course. Sorry for my faulty wording right there. Plenty of lead changes and comers and goers the first 2 stages, and a lot of interesting and highly enthralling pit strategies were shaken up. Despite my ire towards Kyle Busch leading, at least Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. were managed to try to manipulate the drafting and speed right on. Fuck. Sorry, I'm faltering with my wording right there. On Kyle Busch's back bumper, and it was able to slingshot away from him into the lead. And sometimes here and there, Kyle Busch always seemed to have dropped like a rock, whether it be on lead restarts or the superior cars just having the overall better cars than him, or just having the power to manipulate the slingshot drafts. So yeah, this was also a pretty great day for my man Jimmy Johnson. He even found himself in the top 4 for once. And furthermore, it was a pretty damn awesome day for Hendrick. All 4 Hendrick cars were in the top 5. And furthermore, Chevrolet in general was great that race, even to the extent of Chris Buescher finishing 6th. So that is huge progress right there. Not just for Chevrolet, but also NASCAR's quality of their racing in general. I still hate this package with all my heart, like I already said ad nauseum earlier. But NASCAR still needs some work, as everything literally just went down the shitter during stage 3, as supposedly the downforce wasn't adaptive to the conditions of the nighttime racing, supposedly. So I guess they need to enhance the aero package to make it adaptive and suitable for the nighttime races, kind of like the last few laps of stage 3 at Kansas. So I guess it's very problematic whenever the sun sets. The racing is a lot better whenever the sun's out. I don't know. I guess it mainly depends how cool the racetrack really is, and how much the aero package and aerodynamics to those stock cars can really adapt to the weather conditions. So yeah, hopefully NASCAR can find a way to fix it, to make it both adaptive to both sunlight and the night. Because luckily stage 4 was pretty damn hectic and awesome and pretty fucking badass to watch. It still needs a lot of work, because we don't want stage 3 of this race to be rehashed and rinsed and repeated ad nauseum for every single race for the rest of the year, or even the following years of the future. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have a whole lot of other stuff to say, but I'm enthralled by the fact that after Joey Logano undeservedly won a championship, but thanks to him, he saved me from raging my balls off from when Kyle Busch would have won that championship. Granted, he did deserve that championship way more than Joey Logano, but what's there to say he hasn't already won a championship he absolutely didn't deserve back in 2015. So that doesn't really bother me. So it's kind of pretty funny how Martin Truex Jr. 2 times out of the 3 won against the driver that Kamikaze Games hates the most, which is why Kamikaze Games, I wouldn't doubt, is going to soak up every nanosecond of Martin Truex Jr. kicking Joey Logano's ass. Jimmy Johnson, luckily, is proliferating his performances. He just needs to keep that consistency afloat, because we really do not need him outside of the top 20 or even top 25 every race anymore. I mean, he's getting better, like way better, but it's not that hard to improve on garbage. Luckily, he was in the top 4 for once, but hopefully we could at least see that consistency going. His season is better than last year, but that's not saying much, because it's like saying constipation is better than diarrhea. Okay, I wouldn't say that too much about his 2019 season, because for Chase Elliott, fun fact, he only led a total of 8 laps heading into the Coca-Cola 600, whereas Jimmy Johnson led a total of, I think it was 68 laps or 64 laps heading into this said NASCAR event. For this year, at least, not 2018. So, this might be similar to the finishing ratio to Chase Elliott for Jimmy Johnson's case in 2019, at least. So, this race, while it wasn't the best Coca-Cola 600 of all time, I was actually legit getting those 2005 vibes, those first 2 stage races, but, unfortunately, those high mountains during the first 2 stages eventually became chasms and valleys and canyons. And then became high mountains again on stage 4. If I were to explain it in like a stock market statistic. Alright, I'm not sure if I really have anything else to say, so, hope you guys enjoyed this little review of mine, and, oh, by the way, I have this one thing to call out.
At least Kyle Busch fans admit when he has a shit attitude.
Oh, bullshit! I can name, like, thousands of Kyle Busch fans that make ridiculous excuses for Kyle Busch to have do arguably the most inane and obnoxious bullshit on the track. Does Magical Tool and Reddit sound familiar to you guys? Yeah, Reddit, I'm totally talking about you. I'm totally talking about you, Reddit, that make the most inane and ludicrous excuses for Kyle Busch's bullshit actions. All while demeaning Martin Truex Jr.'s humble attitude. I mean, yeah, he was a little bit too much of a drama king towards Joey Logano, but what's there to say that Joey Logano never drives like a punk on the track? He has a long-ass history of him driving like a punk on the tracks. Do I really need to go there again? Do I even need to mention the incident between him and Kenseth? Do I really have to? I think I really dragged this video on further enough, so to avoid rambling on, have a nice day, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you flipped some good burgers, had a nice sing-along to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, and honored our troops. Space out.